Every business knows they need great marketing, but it's often hard to know what works and what you should be doing, let alone finding the time to do it. Abby and her team at Crisp Communications take all this hassle away, creating beautiful marketing that helps businesses put their best foot forward. They don't just deliver great results, they're also super easy to work with and practice what they preach with great communication all along the way. So if you need a new website, new branding, new brochures, or even help with your podcast, head to crispcoms.co to find out more.
There are a few things finer in life than beer.
But have you ever wondered how that golden goodness was made?
Then hop on board with Hop On Brewery Tours.
We'll take you behind the scenes of local breweries, show you the fascinating brewing process, and even find the right beer for you.
With full and half-day tour options available, Hop On Brewery Tours offer the most fun, educational, and unique day out in Brisbane or on the Gold Coast.
Change your perception of beer with Hop On Brewery Tours, Queensland's original craft beer tours. Visit hoponbrewerytours.com.au today.
So, are you ready to hop on?
Remember, always drink responsibly.
Those that were here will never forget what they saw. Brisbane just had unfinished business to attend to at the MCG.
The Brisbane Lions Fancast is back in the lead up to a qualifying final against the Cats at the MCG Friday night. There is plenty to chat about in the pre-finals bye. We are going to announce the winner of the home and away votes, the JB as it's affectionately known. We'll have a chat about the VFL. I went and watched that game at Brighton Homes Arena on the weekend. The AFLW had their game. That's just wrapped up in the last half an hour or so. Just today, there is some more trade chatter with Jordan Ridley. We'll have a bit of a touch on that. Of course, the All-Australian team was announced. The squad was announced and the team was announced. We had the All-Stars Legend game. There's absolutely lots to chat about. So we will get right into it. Don't forget, it's all thanks to hoponbrewerytours.com.au and, of course, Crisp Communications, chriscoms.co. Father's Day coming up. So make sure you book his dad a half or a full day tour. And if you need any marketing, that's where Abby and the team at Crisp Comms absolutely excel. They're giving you free Brisbane Lions Fancast stickers. Don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, review, all that sort of gear as Pat just cracks a beveragino there.
I couldn't hold the mute button at the same time. I tried to do it with my mouth. It didn't work.
And of course, you can always buy the Brisbane Lions Fancast shirts. Hopefully all the issues that were involved in those last couple of weeks have been solved. And don't forget to send us some money at our tip jar, because we do appreciate it. We love putting the podcast out each and every week. And if you like it enough to send us, a couple of bucks, it really does mean the world. So let's get into it. Where do you want to start with this one, Pat?
I would just like to start by saying I'm not above begging.
Okay. Please.
So what a week with no football, eh? No football. I mean, Gold Coast made it into finals. Start there.
Yes, they did. They did their best to butcher it with the loss to Port Adelaide, but they absolutely towed Essendon up on Wednesday night, and they will be playing their first final series. They're heading over to Perth for the first final. It's going to be a tough one. I think it was going to be tough no matter what. It was either the Giants or Freo. It was going to be an away final, I think. I was having a chat to some of my son's mates, and they did not like the idea of playing the Giants. They've lost 14 of the last 15, so fair enough.
I think if I'm playing either GWS or Fremantle, I probably would rather play Freo. We know how I feel about the finals experience and that sort of a thing, and how I think that that's a bigger factor that is maybe being forgotten a bit about the Gold Coast and Adelaide, but who knows how it kind of comes out.
We're staring down the barrel of a very real possibility of a Q Clash semi-final in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the more unlikely options, right? I mean,
well, if we lose and they win,
I think there's probably... I'm not going to say it. Yeah, could happen.
The chance is certainly not zero. I mean, there's a lot of 50-50 games in this first week of finals, and that Collingwood-Adelaide game is going to be heated, to say the very least.
Yeah, definitely so. It should be a really good final series, I got to say. Now, Gold Coast basically got in because they absolutely destroyed us in that Q Clash at People's First Stadium, hey? Do you reckon Nah, I won't put the tinfoil hat on this early. Let's move on to something else.
Well, let's start with last Thursday night. The All-Australian team was officially announced. The squad was announced, and we had 5 in the squad. Zorko and Dunkley were the 2 that made the squad, didn't make the final team. Zach Bailey, Hugh McCluggage, and of course Harris Andrews were the 3 that made the 22. First of all, really good that Dunkley was recognised in a squad mentality there and awarded the AFL's most courageous player, which is absolutely fantastic that he is. I mean, he's chronically underrated, and I think even here on the show, we don't give him votes sometimes when he definitely deserves them.
Just remind everybody who is my first choice midfielder competition-wise.
Correct.
Say his name.
Josh Dunkley.
Whose first pick is he?
Patrick's.
Correct. Yeah. But I think we knew once he got most courageous player, he probably wasn't going to be making the team. Now, full disclosure, I didn't watch the All-Australian. I was watching the Legends game, and then I just skimmed the All-Australian afterwards, which I think is a far better way to do it.
I was flicking between the 2.
Yes. So that was good. We had, best young player, 28-year-old Sean Manor. That was a highlight. Just what? I mean, I understand that it's a second-year player, but come on. Be reasonable here. Does that mean that Podsy Adley would have won it back in the day?
Well, I think Geelong have got a few. I think Tim Kelly won it, and he was a mature age recruit, and so did Tom Stewart. So I think between the 3 of those, the combined age was like in their 70s for best young player.
Beautiful. I love it. It's bloody stupid. And then getting into the team. So, do we want to go through it? Player by player? Line by line?
We can. All I will say is that Josh Battle is obviously a question mark for a lot of people, including myself. I probably would have had Voston or Worrell before him. And I am genuinely surprised that Zach Bailey did make the team in the end. He started hot, and his last few weeks have been really good as well, but he was quiet-ish in the middle. I think Jamie Elliott was probably a bit stiff to miss out on a spot there. I thought Cozzy Pickett probably would have taken that forward flank, and then Elliott would have taken a position in the pocket. But as it is, obviously, I'm stoked that Zach Bailey's made the team.
Yeah, I think Jamie Elliott's kind of trailed off a little bit as the season's gone on, which it does not discredit what he's done. I think probably the volume of goals and how good he was in the early part of the season probably indicates he should have been there. I think this will come as a surprise or no surprise. I think Zorko's absolutely robbed not to be in there, because I would have him ahead of Bailey Dale. I, for the sort of first part of the season, sort of thought that Dale was, as good, similar, whatever to Zorko, but watching him actually, no contest. Zorko should have been in there. Josh Battle can go. I mean, the thing is, it's like, if he's in there, where was Starcevic? I know Battle's a bit bigger, but they put him in there, and the rhetoric around that has been that he's been like a really good lockdown, and his opponents haven't done much. So give Starcevic a blazer for 3 of the last 7 years or whatever. McCluggage on the wing.
Finally.
Pretty funny. So there's that, and I mean, Zach Bailey is. I mean, was it an All-Australian year? I don't know, but he had a good year.
Yeah, Kane has been big on him all year.
He will be the first to say, "I'm one of 9."
Yeah.
So
yes, he will.
Whilst being grilled by David King. So I think all in all, like, 4 midfielders on the bench is a bit of a.
That's a cop out, isn't it? Yeah.
Who else do you have in there? I mean, probably Ben King is a little bit stiff to miss, but it's fine. I mean, Bailey probably played more as a winger than a half forward anyway, so that's kind of one of the weird little things. I did see something interesting where the question was if they picked real wingers who would go in there, and there was a very strong case for Jared Berry, which is interesting given what I said after the grand final last year, where I thought Jared Berry's career would unshackle and he would become an All-Australian this year, but they didn't pick any wingers, so sorry, buddy. You'll always be an All-Australian in my heart.
Other than that, you know, the night was what it was. Nick Dacos won the Players MVP.
That's just the one where they all vote for a guy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool, I guess.
Murphy Reid, the best first-year player. The other big sort of question mark was Jeremy Cameron being announced as captain of the All-Australian team, and no one was more surprised than clearly he.
So I have a bone to pick with you.
All right.
So I listened to your filthy cheating that you did with the hoops man, and the two of you were talking about Max Gawn being a captain and a premiership captain, and Jordan Dawson. There is another premiership captain in there, Harris Andrews, who did not get a mention from you, and I'm disappointed by that.
I mean,
Explain yourself.
I would have had Dawson ahead of Harris, even Bontempelli as well. Noah Anderson would have made a good case for All-Australian captain as well. I think just the fact that it was Jeremy Cameron was obviously very, very strange.
No, but I'm talking about you didn't even bring him up as a potential candidate, you know, or a captain even on the, you know. So, yeah, I'm just pulling your leg. But I think, there's two premiership captains in there, so pick one of them, in my opinion. Harris Andrews is a premiership captain, so
he is. He certainly is, and we'll never forget that.
Did you see the behind-the-scenes lead-up to finals thing with Sydney and the Lions on AFL.com?
Yeah, I did.
Thoughts?
I'm excited for the next bit.
Yeah, I was wondering because I had to log into the, that thing happens where you go to log in and then it's like, put your password in, it's not the right one, then you reset it, and then you put the password in and it says it can't be the same as your password. So that whole thing happened. Finally got to see it. I thought Papley spoke well, and I thought Callum Mills was very regretful.
Yes.
But I think that we are a far classier club than them, and we kind of handled it significantly better.
Yeah, it's an interesting watch, but it did definitely left me wanting more, I guess, of obviously the day itself, the game. I don't know. Yeah, and I'm hoping there's more to it. Obviously, in the lead up to last year's grand final, they released the audio of the coaches and stuff. That's obviously not going to happen this year with Horse's audio mysteriously going missing because he nicked the SD card. So I'm wondering how they're going to tackle that whole situation. But
do the full 2 hours of Chris Fagan commentary. I reckon I would listen to that. I'd pay to listen to that.
It would be. It'll be interesting to see when he does finally relax, because it probably won't be until the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. He's not like us, is he?
No. But yeah, All-Australian night, done and dusted for another year. Exciting stuff. Now we've got the Brownlow and other things to look forward to in terms of awards. The Legends game was good.
Highlights from the Legends game? Yeah, give us I don't know, we don't have a top three this week, so rapid fire them, your top three things from the Legends game.
Number one has to be Cyril Rioli unloading a barrel from 70 like it was nothing on the siren. Ridiculous. Number two is Mitch Robinson taking it way too seriously. And Fev took it pretty seriously as well. Hey, he just did not want to recognise any of his teammates. All right, number three is just watching Andrew McLeod still looking like he could play AFL.
How did you basically picked my three things, but so I'm gonna have to make some changes on the fly. Andrew McLeod, number one. I mean, not number one, number three. The barrel is obviously there in its own category. I've got Fev telling Mitch Robinson to fuck off was very up there. And I've got Kate McCarthy kicking 3 goals and
Oh.
playing like a bloody legend.
Yeah, the wheels on her. I really love like Kate McCarthy in the media, and clearly she was, one of the best on Thursday night.
I thought she should have got the medal.
Yeah.
If you want to try and like grow the AFLW, I get, Cyril kicked an unbelievable barrel, but it's like, give it to her and be like, yeah, if you want more of this, watch the AFLW. Bam.
Yeah, crazy.
Sells itself.
After that, she tweeted that she thinks definitely the AFLW should be playing with size 5 balls. So, I mean, I don't know what that's based off. Obviously, she played with a size 5 ball on the Thursday night and clearly enjoyed it. Had a pretty good game. But I don't know if she found kicking easier or what. But yeah.
I think I've heard you can get more distance on them. They're more natural to kick, so a bit heavier, a bit weightier. Slight little shout out to Jeff Farmer as well, just being there.
Yeah.
It's good. But yeah, it was a bit of fun. It was fine, It's never going to be like, knockout stuff, but it was, it's the sort of thing you watch on a Thursday night when there's no footy and you go, oh, well, that was fun, and then you move on with your life.
Yeah, I hope it comes back for sure.
Yeah, what else we got?
Well, VFL yesterday, that was at Brighton Homes Arena. Big win against Richmond, and my God, it was windy in Springfield. So anyone that went or was watching, you would have noticed a very dominant breeze going towards the scoreboard end of Brighton Homes Arena yesterday, and it was responsible for Richmond kicked that way first. They got off to a good lead, and then Brisbane pegged it back. They had a huge second term, went in with a 5-goal lead, or give or take at halftime. Richmond pegged it back, and then Brisbane ended up winning by 20 points. Oscar was huge. He had an absolute day out yesterday. Dev was good as well. Still some kicking issues, some decision making. Kenny was good. Jimmy Tunstall was good as well. Annabelle was alright. Shadow Brain really good down back. Luke Began had a good game. Fergus McFadden chipping in with a few goals. Brandon Ryan had some good moments. Took a really big mark in the last quarter. But yeah, the story is definitely Oscar McInerney, who had a big day. So 26 touches, 3 tackles, 4 marks, 1 goal, 11 clearances. Didn't dominate the ruck. But was good around the grounds and as a sort of tall option. Got a lot of the ball in the middle of the ground as sort of like that kick out of defence into the middle and then get the ball moving forward.
Yeah, it's good to hear. I think most importantly, it's just they get another week, so it's another bit of routine that keeps them going. I didn't get to watch that because it wasn't on Channel 7. I was like, isn't this your whole thing that you've only got VFL on Saturdays and none the more for me to find? So
I usually just stream it on the AFL.
On the what?
On the AFL website, if I want to watch VFL, they stream everything.
I probably didn't look hard enough. So, but all in all, that's a good result. I think takes them in. Who are they playing next?
See, that I don't understand because they're very slow to update fixtures and all that sort of gear. I think we will either be playing maybe Box Hill or Frankston got absolutely hammered. Or Williamstown.
How do I get to the ladder?
Yeah.
The ladder.
So I think it's either Frankston or Box Hill.
I will figure this out for you. 6-7. We should be playing.
But because there's that wildcard lead-in thing.
I believe it's Frankston.
Yeah, okay. Well,
because we finished 5th, so we played, I don't know. I think it's Frankston. If it's not Frankston, it's Box Hill.
There's a good chance everyone listening by now already knows at this stage who will be playing. But the VFL and their fixturing has always been a bit of an anomaly to me. So I'm happy to say I'm not quite across that one. The girls were pretty disappointing today. Carlton absolutely made the most of their opportunities. They kicked some bloody lucky goals, honestly. But we just lacked composure. Entries inside 50 were really, really poor across the day. And we would have dominated those stats. If I have a quick look here,
So hold on, what you're telling me is that I said last week that the blokes should have gone and hung out with the girls for the goal kicking. And what's actually happened is the girls have taken out inside 50 kicking from the blokes.
Very much so. Plus 19 in inside 50s, but when Carlton got it in, they were so efficient with scoring. It was ridiculous. So, yeah, not good for the girls. In a 12-week season, you need to sort of bank as many wins as you possibly can. But Carlton were good. They look good this year, so that will be one that definitely got away. They were 48.4% efficiency inside 50, and we were shooting at 30%.
I mean, 30% is not even bad. Like, 30% is better than normal, but 40... Did you say 45 or 49?
Basically 49, 48.4.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, insane.
It's anytime we entered inside 50, if we didn't kick it straight to a Carlton tall, if we got it to ground, we just had no balance around the congestion and too many players looking to get out the front and try and squeeze a goal, and Carlton were just better on the spread. And I did like Ellie Hampson, though, getting a bit of inside mid minutes. She was really good, so a little bit of a different look there, and Talia Hickey was good again today. But yeah, not good from the girls today. Just the composure.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big takeaway.
So, I've got this.
That's right, the Sharon.
Now, I don't know if this will go to air or not, but do we actually want to have this as the tipping trophy?
Well, here's the thing. Beef Tips, who won the Brisbane Lions Fancast footy tipping competition, has not reached out. So either.
Yeah. See, the idea that I had, now this is sort of the travelling ball, the idea that I write tipping thing, sign it, send it to you, you sign it, you send it to the winner, and then the next year they send it on.
Sure.
But I don't know how, because this is my baby. It's very kicked.
It has, yes.
It's seen some shit.
Some action.
Look at it. Like, it's a KB, so it's good. Still good for kicking. Don't do what I did and lick off the signatures. But I don't know. Is that a good idea? Do we want to do that, or is that just like a pipe dream that I'm like fanciful?
Well, maybe that's why Beef Tips hasn't reached out, because he heard what the prize was and he decided, you know what, I'm better off without it. But Beef Tips, if you are listening, please reach out. Get in touch via any of the socials. Send an email, blfancast@gmail.com. Let us know. Send us a screenshot of your tipping account so we know it's you. And we will get a prize to you. And that can be like the ongoing prize is the signed Sharon. And you can pick a shirt of your choosing from the website as well, the BrisbaneLionsFancast.com.au shirt store. There you go.
It's also worth noting my signature is the same on my credit card as it will be on the football, so you can use it for all kinds of fraud.
There you go.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
There's an enticing offer right there. Hey, one of the big things that has been spoken about the last couple of weeks is the coaching structure and potentially some departures in the off-season. Now, Cam Bruce was linked to departing, and that has been squashed. Stewie Dew, another one, linked heavily to Port Adelaide. And as always, Danny Daly. Now, Danny Daly has also said, at this stage, he's pretty happy where he is as well, which is good news, something to look forward to. But Stewie Dew still up in the air.
Yeah, so this kind of stuff there were whisperings and things happening a few weeks ago, and I'd been meaning to bring it up, but I didn't, obviously. It was weird seeing both Danny Daly and Stewie Dew being linked away from the club to fulfill roles that they were already kind of doing. To me, I sort of thought Danny Daly, well, there would have been some kind of loose succession plan between one of those two. So I could easily see one going. But the last thing you would want is Danny Daly going to Melbourne, Stewie Dew nipping off to Port Adelaide to be a skills coach or assistant coach or whatever. And then, Fagan goes in 2 years, I've had enough. And then you're sitting there going, shit, well, who are we going to get to coach? So they have to have a plan. And the fact that Danny Daly didn't go to Melbourne, like if they were offering him the coaching job, I could understand that. But then, to my mind, if that was to happen, then we would say, hey, Stewie Jew, we want you to coach in 2 years. So can you stick around? Yes or no? If no, then you make some different decisions. So it wouldn't surprise me if Stewie Jew goes and Danny Daly will coach at some point in the future. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it has been the chat for a while that there is some form of succession plan there.
Just to be clear, this isn't like a Ken Hinckley succession plan. This is like just when he finishes, you're in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that was always the case with Josh Carr as well. They just absolutely butchered it this year for some reason. I think it's unofficially official. And I guess by the time that Fags does hang up the boots, so to speak, they will canvass just in case there is another option for whatever that may be. Unless, I don't know what that situation is. Chris Scott arbitrarily goes, you know what? Actually, I'm done here at the Cats. I'm looking for something different. Then you'd have to consider it. If John Longmire or Adam Simpson or something like that, but I think what is potentially in place is as good as anything.
Yeah, I agree. I think, when they were both being linked to AU, you start to worry a little bit. But I think hopefully
it makes sense. It makes sense. It's when all of Clarkson's assistants all went out and got jobs and then had success at their own clubs and all that sort of gear.
The issue is that we only seem to have about 3 assistant coaches. So it's like, can we? It's not like the big harem of them sitting in the box where there's 9 of them because they didn't have a soft cap or the rich clubs can spend X, Y, and Z and those sorts of things. So, would hopefully Fagan sees out a few more years. Hopefully.
Yeah, Dale Morris is obviously the other one. Who got a bit of airtime in that documentary thing, Inside Access thing at the AFL website you were chatting about at the start of the show. That
did he
lead up to the grand final? A little bit, not a huge amount, but a little bit here and there. Just when they were breaking into their line meetings and all that sort of stuff.
Right. Okay. I thought I was having a stroke and thought that Cam Bruce was Dale Morris, but
no. So we won't know until we finish up our season. So that's something to just to keep an eye out. Now, let's have a chat about Jordan Ridley because the news came out today out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely no chilled. You said it last week or the week before. You're like, they waited until they were knocked out to then elect the club that they wanted to go to, and it's Jordan Ridley's just like, nah, I want to go to the Lions.
This is strange because this was not on anyone's radar up until it was. And he's nominated Brisbane, clearly. He says he wants to trade out. And he's said, you know what, I want to go to the Lions. Now, clearly this means there has been discussions. Because he doesn't just go, I want to go to Brisbane, just throw it out there and hope that we go, oh, okay, this guy wants to come here. Let's see what we can do.
What if he's doing some big brain play to make it seem that way, and then we have to be like, oh, well, if he said it, we got to put our money... Because, can you imagine there would be quite a lot of players that would like to play for the Brisbane Lions? Surely. The majority of players.
Well, when you look at the culture that's obviously been fostered, the track record with getting injured players back on the park, and clearly 7 straight final series, all of those, and then the lifestyle is obviously, it's not, hey, Brisbane lifestyle, it's the best out there. I mean, clearly Gold Coast has got its selling point. Geelong has clearly got its own selling point as well, but it's, it's off Broadway, you're out of the Melbourne Fishbowl, and you can walk down the street relatively unhassled. But I think the injury, it's the injury management that seems to be a big one, and it's a big reason why he wants to get out.
Which is strange, given that he hasn't... I mean, has he not looked at our injuries the last couple of years? I know that it's not funny, and it's also not reflective, but still... I don't know. I can't personally see it happening, to be perfectly honest. I don't think we have the currency to be able to...
He's
it's not a free
contracted
agency thing, so...
Yeah, he's contracted till 2029, so we're going to have to pay, and we're going to have to pay overs if we do desperately want him. It's not a like-for-like replacement for Starcevic. It is more your Froggy Lester, Tom Doedee role. And at this stage, Froggy Lester is still weighing up whether he wants to go around again, which is, as I said, baffling. But maybe it says to me that the club is maybe not giving up on Tom Doedee, but putting contingencies in place, because he didn't play VFL on the weekend either. So he played that one senior game, pulled up with knee soreness, hasn't played at any level since. So he just cannot get a go at it. And he's been on the list for 2 years now. And I think we gave him a 3 or a 4, maybe even a 4-year deal. So, yeah.
I think it's 3 at 700. So it's not... Yeah, it's not money. It's quite a lot of money, to be perfectly frank. He does seem as that kind of third tall,
interceptor,
second tall type, so I mean, I can easily see, let's say worst case scenario, that the Frog doesn't go around next year. It'll leave us a bit light early on in the season, because I don't think we can expect Payne to come back until after the bye. So you're looking at it being Harris, Payne going into the back end of the season, and then Gardner is almost your hybrid. So it's hard to sort of say. I don't see where he fits in. I also don't... key backs are good, but I mean, to me, it's sort of like, for him, it's a strange choice, and I just don't think we can afford it.
No. I think if we can make it happen without, paying way over for it, then it's certainly something to look at, because, I mean, he's got injury history. He can barely get on the park himself. He's just hamstring after hamstring. So it's a very strange one, and Kane Corns, I'm sure, will be chatting about it first thing tomorrow morning on SEN.
The contract, if you want to stay with honour your contract, don't sign it.
It's a tough one.
Who was he talking about that? Was it Curnow?
Curnow, yeah.
Yeah. Gee, that's a story.
Yeah, there's a bit going around at the moment. So, thankfully, we've got a final series to focus on. So that's going to be our focus in the lead up to Friday night. Before we start chatting about this game against the Cats, do we want to tally the votes
For the JB?
Yes. All the votes for the home and away season have been tabulated.
Tally ho.
All right, so 23 players in total all got at least a vote.
23 players. That's a lot of players.
It's a lot of players, which speaks to the season we've had in many ways.
It also speaks to... Now, were there any players that didn't get votes that is like a glaring omission, or have you not kind of sort of looked at it that way?
The most obvious in terms of names is Charlie Cameron received no votes this year. But I suppose that's
understandable.
It's not overly surprising. Other than that, most other players got a vote here and there. So,
cool.
Equal 15th.
Shit, we're going from 15th.
Yep. With one vote each is Sam Day and Kyle Oman.
Nice.
14th was Brandon Starcevic.
That would have been that Dangerfield game, right?
Very possibly, yes. Equal 13th with 5 votes. Callum Archie, Jack Payne, Levi Ashcroft, Darcy Gardner, Ryan Lester, and Darcy Fort.
Oh, pretty good guys there. Continue on.
12th with 7 votes is Dane Zorko. Jared Berry comes in at 11. You gave him 1 vote. I gave him 6.
Zorko? Or...
Yeah. Jared Berry at 11th with 8 votes. And so that gets us to our top 10. Equal 10th, Rayner and Hipwood with 9 votes. Noah Answorth in 9th with 11 votes. Logan Morris, 14 votes at 8th. And I did a lot of the heavy lifting there. I gave him 10 votes. You gave him 4. Lockie Neal at number 7, which is, I guess, a surprise, but a welcome surprise, I suppose, with 16 votes. Harris Andrews at 6 with 17 votes. Zach Bailey at number 5, 21 votes.
Someone was saying we weren't giving Zach Bailey votes.
Well,
They accused us of not giving him votes. I know. Look at that.
Jasper Fletcher, 4th with 22 votes. Equal 3rd, Darcy Wilmot and Will Ashcroft with 24 votes. And must be said, Darcy Wilmot, all in the back half of the year, basically. I think he had 3 votes up until the Carlton game, and then there was lots of 3s and 2s.
Which is funny because I don't think he wasn't not good. Like he was fine. He probably just went under the radar.
It's because he started kicking all those goals streaming inside 50. Second, Josh Dunkley, 28 votes, and as no surprise, first-time All-Australian Hugh McCluggage in first position with 35 votes.
Wow. Good for him. Now,
Definitely.
You don't know how to do a countdown properly. That's not how it works. But that's
I
okay.
know. I never know if it's like... so, McCluggage first...
If you have a tie for 2, so say 2 people come second, you lose.
Then you go to 4th? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, well...
So
yes,
the top 10 was actually a top fucking 17 or whatever.
The top 10 was top 12.
It's fine. Yeah, I would pick this up, which is why I'm doing it.
I did think about it, and I couldn't remember if it was like, oh, do you skip one, or do you go like equal second, then straight to third, or whatever it is. Anyway.
Just don't worry about it. Just don't think that much. So well done to Hugh McCluggage, picking up the JB. Now, I called an audible last week, off air, saying that I was going to change the voting for the Paddy.
That's right, yes. The voting system for the finals is affectionately known as the Paddy, and I didn't mind the system that you put forward.
So what I tend to find, and the reason behind it is that, the 3-2-1 can be a little bit fucking whatever. So what I am doing is there will be 3 single votes per quarter, so a total of 12 votes across each game, with a player only able to get 4 maximum, if they're good in every quarter. I think it's just more fun.
Yep, I like it.
I'm not insane and stealing the Jared Waitley 3-2-1 per quarter, because that nearly led to Luke Parker being best on ground in the grand final last year. So that is obviously not a very good metric. So,
all right. So if you missed that one, each final 1 vote per quarter, 4 votes total up for grabs.
Well, there's 12 votes in total.
Oh, so it's a 3-2... What? 12 votes in total?
No. So it's 3 single votes every quarter.
Right, okay.
So there are so at the end of the game, I will have 12 votes, you will have 12, but a player can only get a maximum of 4, because they can get 1 vote per quarter. Jeez, right. I thought that was... It's just too complicated. I'm sticking with it, because...
Okay.
I think once we get going, it will not be as complicated as it seems.
Okay. Well... The dry run will be Friday.
we can do it. Okay, hey, let's do a test run for the Adelaide Collingwood game.
Okay, I like it.
It's going to be all fog all the time and Thrill House.
All right, wow. Brandon Starcevich, he has got a bit of interest at the moment as well. West Coast are trying to pull a fast one and say, hey, we'd love to get Brandon Starcevich in, but only if it doesn't affect the Oscar Allen compo pick. So can we please, Mr. AFL, have our pick 2 and our Brandon Starcevich, please? Can we have our cake and can we eat it too?
No, that's insanity. This is insane. It doesn't make any sense, because you're going, they're in a situation where they're kind of creating their own economy of picks. It's like, well, I'll trade you someone and you trade me someone, and then we'll get a bonus pick. And then, this is the dumbest shit ever, basically. They're insane. What did I say? Because we had a bit of a talk about this on the Chord of Dis. And basically my conclusion was, do better, West Coast. You're the richest club. Do better. You've made terrible decisions. Suck it up and do better. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
But you cannot then argue if a structure's in place that, You give something away, you get a compensation. Then you gain compensation with another player. So what does that mean? We should get a compensation pick as well. We shouldn't, because that's not how it works. It's the system. If they got a compensation pick from the AFL, it should be irrelevant to this. But I also think, haven't they already got compensation picks previously?
No, I don't think so.
But also they traded like 2 first-rounders for Tim Kelly.
They had pick 3 last year, and they traded it for Matt Owies in a roundabout way.
Why? Why? Why?
It's a great question. It wasn't as simple as pick 3 for Matt Owies, but they traded with Carlton. They got a player, and they moved down the draft order a little bit. And yeah, anyway, obviously piss off. Obviously just piss off.
What are they doing? Like, I don't get it. Like, that's just pick a player at pick 3 or whatever. Like, you're shit. Pick good players.
Yeah. Must be said, good news that Harley Reid has decided to stay. I mean, I like that. And I liked that.
Oh, he couldn't
Yeah.
not. Like, after the way he, went at the Hornet, like, you can't not after that. The optics would be terrible. So, yeah, good for that. Just shut up, deal with your rebuild. Actually lure in some good players. Maybe, if you think about that. Like, Matt Owies is not helping you.
No, he's not. He's
He
not
certainly
anyone.
didn't help him to win games, did he?
I barely saw him on the field. So I don't know if he's
I barely
even
watched
injured or
West
whatever.
Coast, and the times I did, I regretted it heavily. So, and once Reed was out of the team, there's not a chance I was watching any of that. The only player that's Jinby, he's all right. That's
Sure.
it. That's all I want to talk about West Coast. Please stay away from my big bald Starcevic.
Yes. All right, we've got a game against Geelong. That is our qualifying final, Friday night, MCG. It is going to be an absolute ball terror. The first time we've faced them in a non-preliminary final. And as I spoke about with Benny from the Hoops crew, there's lots of players to be worried about. And what do you make of the lead-ins of the two teams? So we've had tough assignments in the 8 weeks leading up to finals, but we've got injury concerns. They've had a very soft draw, especially their last 6 weeks. Clean bill of health, though.
I mean, I think somewhere in the middle was the answer that you guys basically, got to. And whilst that is technically correct, which as we all know is the best kind of correct,
Yes.
I would rather be us than them.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly with the way that we've shown up in big games. And I know that there's potential tendency for complacency, but I just don't think that will happen, because if there's one thing that this playing group is like primed for and gearing up for, it's the finals, and we've made it, and they will be like rabid, frothing lions, and I really want to see it.
I think the Cats will be up for it as well, though. For sure.
Yes, but they'll be all, full bellied and, sitting on the beach and that sort of a thing. So they haven't had to do anything. So I guess therein is the question. I would rather be us, but I can also understand the other way around. And I think, we've got a bit of the wood over them. So we'll just have to wait and see. Where are kind of the points that you feel, a cause for concern?
Well, obviously we've won the last 3 games, but in 2 of those last 3 games, they have had a 5-goal lead on us. And in that prelim last year, Max Holmes went off, and that's when we decided, okay, we can probably pull something out here, because he was instrumental in them getting that lead. Ooh, I've got a little spider on my microphone stand here.
Yeah, no, get rid of it.
It's just a little guy.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I would say that in the prelim, they scored some utterly low percentage garbage.
That's true.
In that second quarter, you got Brian Myers kicking a mung from the thing. You've got the Lionel Messi pass. Ollie Henry was hitting them from everywhere, and it's nice to know that he probably won't be there. And not to mention Sean Manor, who kicked the ball into someone, and Dangerfield hack kicks the ball into Zorko's back, and it falls straight to Manor. So, they had chances that they didn't capitalise on, but I think, did I call before the prelim? Did I put some magic on Max Holmes' hamstring? I think I might have. I can't remember.
He's got a knack of doing them against us, doesn't he? In finals.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that, I'm a ruthless boy. So
I think
their run could be not problematic, but because I think that Baz is sort of more inclined to run one way, Max Holmes does a lot of lifting the other way for him.
Yep.
So I think the interesting thing will be the positional stuff and how we all line up, which there are some questions.
Well, as you've said on this show a few times, is that we, weirdly enough, match up pretty well on Geelong. And as I said to Benny, like the two ones that I'm not particularly worried about is Paddy Dangerfield and Jeremy Cameron, because we do stack up against those two particularly all right. Without Jack Payne to take Shannon Neal, that's going to leave a lot of work for Darcy Gardner, or maybe Harris takes that.
Well, I think Harris kind of did take it during the year, so it's worth noting when we went down to Cardinia, we only took 1.5 talls. So they had Jezza and Shannon Neal, and we basically stuck Harris on Shannon Neal and put Lester onto. Are you spidering? What's going on here?
The gas in my chair is cooked and it keeps just slowly lowering. But yes, I'm on Spider Watch as well because it's just hanging out on my microphone arm and I'm just staring at me.
Yeah, no, better you than me. So I think it'll be a little bit different because, funnily enough, before that game, I said if they really wanted to throw a spider in the works, as it were, I would have put Blixarves forward. And they didn't do that in that game, but they have kind of been doing that a little bit since then. So he could be a problem. So Gardner will likely go to him. But having a big 2 metre tall runner, no good. So it was interesting to hear the other fella say he didn't want any injuries in the game, but he also expected Dangerfield to break bones of one of our players. So I was like, pick which one. Come on. At least me, shamelessly, praying for the snapped hamstring of Max Holmes. We are where we are. So live with who you are. I'm comfortable with who I
am. He also mentioned that Sean Manor is someone that we probably need to pay a little bit more attention to and a bit more respect to.
The young up and comer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so they do have, and this will tie into a question. They do have a number of players between him and Myers that can come up to the contest and add an extra number that they then lose that number by swapping and bringing Stewart back. So it's going to be interesting. I touched on it last week where, ordinarily you have 6 backs, 6 midfielders and 6 forwards. We're at the moment pulling one of our forwards into the midfield, creating a 7 in midfield. They're pulling one back to create a 7th in their defensive unit. So if both teams are just acting independently, doing what they are, we'll have a 5-on-7 in our forward half. And so we'll both have kind of men behind the ball, but we'll have more at the stoppage. So we'll have 7 at the stoppage, they'll have 6, and then we'll have a spare behind the ball. So you guys forecast, or he forecast a high-scoring game. I don't think it will be. I think it'll be a grind.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be... Oh, there he is. He's crawling towards me now. Can you see him? No.
I'm going
to have to deal with this guy. He's freaking me out. Ah!
Itsy bitsy spider.
Well, it's not itsy bitsy though. I mean, it's big enough.
You said it was little.
Well, I mean, it's not like Huntsman, but he will be a Huntsman. He's just like a teenager. He's a teenager Huntsman at the moment. He's chilling. He's gone back now. He's retreating. All right, you keep going up there, mate. It's just unwanted stress I don't need right now.
Look, if it was me, the podcast would be cancelled, and I wouldn't come back in this room for 3 days.
you'd have
Did
to
you get any of that waffling that I just said? Or
No,
were you
yeah,
too
I did.
Preoccupied with your 8-legged friends.
100%. One thing's for sure is last time we got them in Cardinia, it was all about like put speed on the ball, get it up the guts as quick as possible. If Zorko takes a kick in, he's not taking any more than 0.4 of a second to get it in. They're going to be onto that this time.
Oh, for sure. But I don't think that... I think we've kind of... The beauty of doing that is it allows... They either plug the middle, and then I think with the wide spaces of the MCG, it means we can go around. So it just comes from the elite kicking that we have. And that was a bit of a unique setup by having the one fewer defender. So, it probably won't be quite like that, but, you know, we've played the MCG pretty bloody well. And I think... You know, one of the questions... We'll incorporate this because it's stupid to talk about the game and then be like, well, we won't talk about this one thing because we've got a question about it. So, JSEP said, not that, other one, Nash. Also known as Nath, I can't see. Sorry, everybody. Without Noz in the team, who gets a job playing on the smalls? Could it be Fletcher more defensively or Motti, etc.? Now, do you want me to go or do you want to go?
Well, I'll give my thoughts because I know you've got a bit more thought into it. Obviously, the word is Barry will come back in for this game, as will Lockie Neal. So there'll be a couple of changes there. I think it will be a case of Fletcher playing a little bit more defensively, as we know he has this year. And, you know, Wilmot's defensive accountability has been much better this year, and without losing that, you know, attacking flair that he's got. So I think, yes, Wilmot, you are going to have to be on it a little bit. Zorko, you too. You can't just rely on getting our chain of movement going forward. You do have to have your wits about you with these Geelong high half forwards. But Fletch, you're there to do that job.
So I think probably the more important thing is because obviously they're going to go to the players. You know, there's no sort of way around that between Stengel, Close, Manor, and Myers. To me, between Myers and Manor, they're the two that are kind of more liable to come in to the stoppage to create that extra body in there. And I think Fletcher will be the guy that will go there. Now, we saw it in the prelim last year. If you even watched late on, Noah Answorth in there at the stoppage to go with them.
That's right.
And that was what he was able to do, having played a lot of midfield minutes previously. So to have someone that is... You know, Fletcher's touted as potential to play as an inside midfielder to go with. I think that's really handy, and I think it works well for us. So I can see him being the one to go to stoppage with them. But aside from that, it'll basically be similar to how it was at Cardinia, because we had the same players playing on the same players.
Yeah.
Aside from that, around the ground, you know, Ollie Dempsey is really good, so it'll be
Barry.
Yeah, watch out for him. Go with him, Barry. Hopefully, Barry's able to impact in the air, and we can just get him going the other way. So, Gallup's got a big role ahead of him.
Yeah.
Because I think the only other player of note that was missing in the game earlier in the year was Sam de Koning didn't play. So
that's true.
Tom Stewart did. He just was a little bit hobbled, I think.
Yeah, he was still battling with that PCL gear, yeah.
But, SDK is back, so, yeah, we'll have to put a bit more work into their forward line, but hopefully that creates space for Logan Morris.
Hopefully. That's another thing they're not going to let happen again is Logan Morris kick a bag of 5. Yeah,
but that's it. If they're all isolated, then, you know, Gallup will kick his first goal, mark my words.
Okay, there you go. There's a hot take for the Friday night. Gallup's going to kick his first goal.
It's the right time on the MCG.
It's a good time, isn't it? I'm glad. Well, at this stage, he's going to be in the team. He was withheld from VFL, so you'd have to think he's going to be playing. So, I'm really
Ty.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. No way is he not playing. In the middle, so they got a couple of taggers. You know, Mullen and Atkin
and O'Connor.
O'Connor. I mean, I don't think the triple tag is the way to go. Surely, that's insane.
No, I think it'll be Atkins will go with probably Neil at stoppage, and then Mullen or O'Connor will go with probably Hugh. I mean, it has to be Hugh.
Yeah, and we can just sort of send Dunkley to one of them and hope for the best. Dunkley and Holmes. Dunkley's got a good tank.
Yeah.
So I think, the matchups all kind of fix themselves, and just sort of see, how the systems tend to work and who kind of comes out on top. So, looking forward to it.
Do you think the winner of this is box seat for Premiership?
Yes, I think we're box seat for the Premiership. But I think the winner, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see Geelong make it the long way round as well. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. We've been speaking about this the last couple of weeks, and I still really can't pick a Premier because everyone's best is pretty darn good.
Yeah, I think it's just an element of stringing the games together. And we know that we can. It's not to say that the other teams around can't. Say again, sorry?
But we haven't really this year. We haven't been able to string sort of 3-4 good weeks together.
No, but we haven't had to play 3 or 4 good teams that are... Well, I mean, we did at the end, but... Yeah, I see what you mean. But I think it's a little bit different. And, would it have made any difference if, say, like the Sydney game 3 weeks ago was like we played Essendon and smashed them, and it was, we won 5 in a row?
No,
would that really have changed?
I'm probably more concerned about that Gold Coast effort that we put in.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we've weeded out the people, so we'll put the tinfoil hat on. That game did get them finals, so maybe there was a bit of underhandedness going on in that one. I actually have heard there was quite a lot of illness that went through the camp around that game.
Yeah,
so
I heard that too. Yeah, but, I mean...
Yeah, not who cares, but also not who doesn't care. I don't know. So that could just be a complete anomaly. And we haven't completely not showed up like that in years. So the Collingwood game, a little bit, but I think that was kind of contextualized within the game and no one was overly surprised. So I still think that we... I think we'll win.
I hope you're right.
There's no, other than another team playing really well, there's no real reason otherwise. And I think everyone's kind of got question marks over their teams, Geelong have had the soft lead-in. Collingwood are old. Adelaide don't have Rankin and have no finals experience. GWS is a bit of a threat, but no Hogan.
No Hogan and Buckley, so those are 2 big outs for them.
And then you keep going down, you go, well, Hawthorn, bunch of peanuts, Fremantle, flaky, and Gold Coast haven't played finals. So, there could be some weird stuff going on.
I think there will be some weird stuff, and at the end of this weekend, there will be 2 teams that will be out of finals that you could have made the argument for them going to a prelim as well. So, yeah.
Well, any one of these teams, and I include the disappointment of its entire entity that is the Western Bulldogs. These teams could finish in the top 4 in a lot of other years, all 9 of them. Like, that's insane. So, I think that the season, and I understand people have struggled and sort of wrestled with the idea that the season's been a bit dull because the bottom 9 teams. I know for us it's been fine because we're relevant, I guess. This season kind of deserves for this final series to be an absolute, one that you look back on in, 2050 and go holy shit, go and watch any game from the 2025 final series and it'll just bam, that's what you want. Because there are final series like that, but I just hope that it's good.
I was thinking about this a little bit more the other day because we had that question from Ziggy about, is this season actually a bit garbage because there's been such a clear top 9, bottom 9? I think another element that we probably didn't consider at the time is that like some of the teams that are bad at the moment are probably just embracing being bad and trying to fast track some sort of a rebuild before Tassie gets in. So teams like Melbourne that probably could have fought a little bit more to finish higher up the ladder, I think at some point they went, you know what, actually, we're going to have to start playing some kids here and exposing them for the future here to try and get ahead of it before Tassie comes in. Richmond obviously doing that sort of stuff.
Is that a silver hat you're wearing?
No.
Goodness me, the tinfoil hat coming out from Brooksy. Accusations of tanking. When was it that Melbourne did that? Was it 20 years ago, 22 years ago?
No, it wasn't that long ago. It was like 2013 or something.
Oh, right. 10 years ago. Whatever.
Yeah.
Give or take. Sandbagging is out. Love it.
I mean, that makes sense.
What do you mean? Like to do it like that?
Not necessarily to do it, but it's like, all right, if we're not going to make the finals, and we're clearly not going to make the finals because the top 9 is so decisively good, it's like, well, we might as well. I mean, St Kilda, not because they obviously won that epic four-game winning streak against...
The end of the season every year, and it always kind of costs them an identity crisis and delusions of grandeur. But I think, we probably know as Lions people the damage that can be done by having your rebuild whilst little teams are coming in. It's like,
yeah. And if you do still end up with a top 10 pick, don't piss it away on a Billy Longer.
Matt Owies. Billy Longer, Jared Pollack, whatever. Let's not go into it. Don't do that.
Good stuff. All right. Well, unless there's anything else you want to chat about before this massive game on Friday night, we might call it a night.
The only other thing is, Bailey Smith, not Dennis Rodman. I like Dennis Rodman. I don't like Bailey Smith. Rodzilla. If he turns up on the wrestling before grand final night, then we'll know he's legit.
Fair enough.
I don't think. Have we got any other questions?
No, I don't believe so.
There's just this one from JSEP that I didn't say that I said. That says, if everything goes to plan, would you like to... who would you like to play in the grand final? Man, you can tell that I don't often read the questions to ask back to you. So, if everything goes to plan, who would you like to play in the grand final?
I would like to get one back on Collingwood after 23. But I would also, on the flip side, fucking hate losing to them again.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon go Collingwood. Collingwood, I mean, anyone basically.
A Q Clash grand final would obviously be huge.
I feel like they'd be just giving out tickets in the street to that, right? You'd be able to walk straight in.
Yeah, a little bit. I think a Geelong Brisbane grand final would actually be good as well. We've formed this little rivalry over the last couple of years with them. It had some big finals. Obviously in the early 2020s they absolutely smashed us in those prelims, and then the last couple of years there's been some really good games. And in amongst all that, the Mark Blitzar, Zach Bailey missed free kick, the Tom Hawkins big shove in the back. There's been, without it being
Chris
like
Scott and Fagan going at it on the touchline,
without it being like remarkably spicy or anything like that, in the same way that some of the encounters we've had with Melbourne, I think there is a respectful rivalry growing over the last few years.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, because there's not like an element of like petulance to it, or it's not like dirty. Although maybe this week it will get there. It will become a petty, not Harrison Petty, but it'll be petty in its own right. And then grand final day, it'll be there, blood and guts everywhere. Imagine that. And then
I'd like to. Obviously we lost to Adelaide and GWS this year. It'd be nice to beat them, because those are games we could have won.
I would quite like to avoid GWS, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, me too.
I don't. They give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
that
big
makes
time.
sense. So the second part of that question is, if you could bring anyone in from our three-peat side to improve the current side, who would it be? Now, there's only one correct answer to this, and I want to see if you get it.
To our current side right now,
It's also don't think this hard.
at their peak.
Well, I'm assuming it's a three-peat person.
Okay, well, Jonathan Brown would be pretty handy with Eric Hibwood out at the moment.
I was going to say Mr. September himself, Crackers
Oh.
Keating. Like,
Sure.
I'm sorry, Luke Hodge, that's not your name. You are not Mr. September. That was Clark Keating's name long before you. You might have won some Norm Smiths, but you didn't rock one out having played about 3 games, looking about 10 kilos overweight in 02. So, but no, I think John O'Brien probably works pretty well.
Well, considering our tall forwards at the moment are Sam Day, who is 40 years old and as slow as a cruise ship, and then 2 20-year-olds, or a 20 and a 19-year-old. It's
So you're bringing but hold on, I'm assuming the three-peat side would be a 21-year-old Brownie or a 20-year-old Brownie.
let's go for the 03 Brownie.
Okay, so the one that got knocked out in the first second by Scott Burns.
No, he's still contributing.
Still kicked a goal.
Yeah.
See, I reckon an argument could be made for Daniel Bradshaw.
Yeah, sure.
I know that's not the kind of like the coolest way of doing it, but if you're looking for talls, you're not going to put 37-year-old Sam Day and 36-year-old Alistair Lynch up there.
And with Noah out as well, maybe one of the Scott brothers down back could be handy.
Yeah. Also, Chris Johnson, man, that guy can still
He can still kick,
thread
can't
a
he?
needle. Yeah,
My word.
it's good to see. Yeah, I reckon so. Brownie or Bradshaw or Clark Keating. Sorry, Michael Voss.
Well,
We just
the
don't
thing
need
is,
you
we
in
don't.
that
Yeah,
part
we
of the
don't.
ground.
We don't need midfielders at the moment.
God, that's got to be. Oh man, as a Brisbane Lions, Brisbane Bears man, that is one of the filthiest things I've ever said. Feeling, but it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make a. I mean, the thing is, you can make a case for Ackermanis, but
That's
we
Zach
do have
Bailey's
other
role, isn't
smalls,
it? Yeah.
Yeah. Zach Bailey, Lohman. Don't know. Martin Pike.
He'd be good after.
Martin Pike is a sub.
Yeah, that'd be handy. All right, let's wrap it up, and we'll be back hopefully to chat about a prelim final.